the guru is saying something, and the disciple is beholding that idea, completely. And the moment he can behold this idea, this is this, and he becomes that. So, here he says that, nate sangosti, nate sangosti, you are free from any contact. You are not attached to anything. You are not attached to anything. You are always free from everything. You are free from, whatever you can see, whatever you can think of, whatever you can imagine. You are free from that. You are always free. Nate sangosti kenapi kim shuddhasti. And you are that pure consciousness. You are that pure consciousness. This is where you have to stand. That's it. I am that pure consciousness. I am free from everything. I don't have any stain. I don't have any impurity within me. I'm always pure. I am that pure consciousness. So, when we see our thoughts, those thoughts contains object of the senses. It contains the elements of this world, of this external world. And when we see these thoughts, we think that these thoughts are us. We think that these thoughts belongs to us, and we are part of this thought, and this is the part of our existence, or we are part of this existence. But it is not like that. We are never the thoughts. The thoughts never, they don't never they can never, they can never touch us. We are free from that. Like in the last chapter, Astavakra was saying that, I am like the sky. I am like the sky. When the smoke comes, and when the smoke covers the sky, we think that the smoke and the sky is one, or the smoke has, touched the sky. It is with the sky. It has become one with the sky. But the smoke can never touch the sky. The sky remains untouched. Though you see from the surface that the smoke has, pervaded the sky, but the sky can never be pervaded. It's always free from the sky. In the same way, when you see these thoughts, they are just impositions, but they cannot touch you. They cannot touch you, because you see this from, from this point, from, this side of the existence, from the wrong side of your existence, from the unreal side of the existence. You think that the thoughts might have, something to do with you. They have, they have covered you. They are pervaded you. They are, you contain the characters of the thoughts. You contain the substance of the thoughts. That is what you think. But you are always free, like the sky. The clouds can never touch the sky. The sky remains untouched. So in the same way, the self remains untouched. In the Bhagavad Gita it says that Indriyanam param ahu indriyabhyo param mana. Mana tastu para buddhi ya buddhir paratastu sa. It says that the mind is beyond the senses. When we talk about the senses, when we talk about the mind is beyond the senses. And beyond the mind is the buddhi, that is the intellect. And when we go beyond this intellect, when we transcend this intellect, then we come across somebody called sa, he, that. This is me. This is me. This that. This he. Like Swami Vivekananda used to say, I am he. I am he. I am he. So this he is me, actually. This he is me. So shoham. Sa aham. I am that. I am he. I am he. So Indriyanam para ahur Indriyabhyo paramana. That is, the mind is, beyond the senses, and and the mind is, the senses are beyond sense objects. The mind is beyond the senses. Okay, Indriyanam para ahu Indriyabhyo paramana. Manasastu para buddhi, and there is this intellect which is beyond the mind, and manasastu para buddhi ya buddhi paratastusa, and there is another one, this he, this is beyond this intellect. And then it says evam buddha param buddhi sangstabhyat mana atmana. When you find this one which is beyond your senses, which is beyond your mind, which is beyond your intellect, you need to focus your mind and your intellect into that. Sangstabhyat atman atmana. Sangstabhyat bhyat manam atmanam. When you find this one, and if you want to find this one, which is beyond, which is beyond the senses, which is beyond the mind, which is beyond the intellect, what you need to do is you need to focus upon that with your complete mind and intellect. I am he, I am he, I am he. You need to focus in this aspect. I am he, I am he, I am he. Indriya, Evang Buddha Param Buddho Sangstabhyat Manamatmana Jahi Shatru Mahabaho Kam Rupam Durasadam. These ignorance. This ignorance is, is your enemy. It's your enemy. Not knowing yourself, being ignorant about yourself is your enemy, actually. It's not your friend. It's not your nature. It's your enemy. So, how to get rid of this enemy? When you can get rid of your mind and intellect. And how to get rid of your mind and intellect? When you focus your mind and intellect into the self. And then find the self. Not only that, I need to focus, my aim is not to meditate. My aim is, is not to meditate. My aim is reaching a point where I do not need to meditate. So what does it mean that I do not need to meditate? That is, when I'm going to establish in myself, I don't need to meditate. Till I am established into myself, I am in the process, and thus I need to meditate. But when I've reached that, when I've reached the state of, when I've reached the state of non-duality, with the self, then I don't need to meditate. I am that. So that is why it says that, you are free from any contact whatsoever. Therefore, you are pure. And what do you have to renounce? You don't need to renounce. This idea of renunciation, this idea that you need to, get rid of something, you need to get unattached from something, this is your ignorance. You need to get rid of the idea that you need to get rid of anything. You are never attached to anything. Whenever you have this, feelings that I need to get rid of something, I have to renounce this, I have to renounce. You need to renounce this attitude of renunciation. You have to become what you are. You need to be what you are. Okay? So, this is what Astavakra is trying to say. That you need to, you need not go through any process. You have to believe, you have to have faith, you have to have faith, you have to have this full comprehension, full perception, full conviction that I am the self. And when you have this full conviction that I am the self, you become the self. And you see that you didn't have to go, didn't have to leave anything, renounce anything. So then it says, Udeti bhavato vishwam bari gheriva budbuda iti gyatvaiva kamatmanam evameva layam braja. It says that, you know, the universe rises from you. The universe, or this external universe, whatever you see, in your mind as well as outside, whatever you see within your mind, this internal universe and external universe, they are like bubbles rising from the sea. Bubbles are not true. The sea is the truth. The sea is the truth. Bubbles are just a state for a time being. It was not there and it will not be there. It's just now for a time being, but it's a passing phenomenon and it will be done after some time. The actual truth is the sea. In the same way, this external universe that you see, this universe which you see outside, as well as the universe that you see within your mind, they are like that. They are like the bubbles in the sea. Thus, know the self to be one. You are the one. Know the self to be one, and in this way, enter into the state of dissolution. You are not these. You are not these many. You are not these two. You are not mind, intellect, ego, senses, body, another body, these, that. No, you are not these. You are one. And know, when it says know that you are one, it means that you need to behold this idea completely, that I am that one. Ekameva advitiyam. Ekameva advitiyam neha nanasti kinchana. I am that one. I am that one. And there is no two, there is no many. There is no ekam tatha sarvabhut antaratma. There is only one. There is only one self in every being. Whatever being I see, but there is only one self. There is only one. And I am that one. I am that one. When you come to this point, when you come to this point, when you come to this conclusion, when you come to this conclusion, that is dissolution. When you can perceive yourself to be one, you will have no idea of another person, another thing, any other, separated from you. When you will have this, when you will know that I am this universe, I am this universe, there is no bubbles, there is no bubbles, there is no creation. I am always what I am. I'm always what I am. There is no universe. I'm always that Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. I'm always that Sachidananda. I have never become two. I have never become this universe. When I see this universe, it is only because of Maya. It is only because of Maya. It is only because of delusion. Delusion. But in reality, this two does not exist. It's only one. So when I am established in this one, that is dissolution. Then I see the world has dissolved. And when I say the world has dissolved, it means the body aggregate. That is, my body has also dissolved. My mind has dissolved. Means body aggregate means it's not only the body, it's the body, mind, intellect, and ego. All of them. When we talk about mind, it's not only mind, it also talks about intellect, it also talks about ego, it also talks about body, because they are all together. They're this integral part. If you just pick the body, you cannot pick the body. When you pick the body, all this thing comes. When you pick mind, all these other things comes. They are all together. They're all together. They only differ by form, but in reality, all are the same. All are the same. So, you are not this. You need to have this complete conviction that I am one. I have not become two, and that is delusion. Then it says, Pratyaksham avyaptam avyapta vastu avastum vishwam nastyamale twai. When you see, when you see vastu in avastu, that is when you see the reality in non-reality. When you're seeing reality in non-reality means, when you're seeing non-reality in reality, when you see this universe, you are actually not seeing this universe, you are actually seeing yourself. When you're seeing this body, when you're seeing another body, whatever you're seeing, whatever you are experiencing, you are not experiencing that which you think you are experiencing. You are actually experiencing yourself. You are actually experiencing yourself. So, when you experience the non-reality in reality, then also nastya male twai, then also you are na amale twai. You are that, you are that pure. Amale means pure. You are that purity. Even when you might see yourself to be something, you might see yourself to be a name, a form, you might see yourself to be, some object, the thoughts, the desires. You might see yourself to be, anger, greed, lust. You might see yourself like this, but you are always pure. You are always pure. Rajju sarpa eva vyaktam evameva layam braja. You have to know. You have to know this world is like the snake in the rope. When you can see yourself, when you can see the entire universe as a snake in the rope, that whatever I see is the snake. Now, where is the snake? The snake is not in the rope. The snake is in the, in the organs, in the eyes. So we need to purify these eyes. We don't need to purify the rope, because the snake is not in the rope. The snake is in the eyes. So, in this Bhagavad Gita, there is a beautiful, words Krishna said, that Indriyanam, that it says that Indriyani Mano Buddhi Swadhishthanam Uchyate. Where is the ignorance situated? We see ignorance. We see ignorance. We see, this non-reality. Now, where is this non-reality situated? It says Indriyana Mano Buddhi. It is situated in the senses. It is situated in the mind, and it is situated in the intellect. So these are the places where the ignorance is situated. And that is why the whole spiritual process is about cleaning these senses, cleaning this mind, cleaning this intellect. Now, how to clean them? How to clean them? Indriyana mano buddhi swadhisthana uchyate etar bi mohayat tesha. Now you need to remove them. Now you to remove them from the falseness of this, of this, of this non-reality, of the perception. You need to remove this, you need to remove this falseness of perception from this mind, intellect, and ego, that they are all, attached to what they are seeing. Mind, intellect, and our senses, they are all attached to what they are experiencing. They cannot differentiate themselves from that. They cannot differentiate from that, and that is why you need to detach them from that. You need to detach them from that. Why? Because without detachment, without if you cannot detach your if you cannot detach your senses, if you cannot detach your mind, if you cannot detach your intellect, then they are going to keep you in this false perception forever. They are going to keep you in this false reality forever, and that is why you need to get rid of this false reality. Now, how to get rid of this reality? It says, "Evam," it says that you need to tasmat indriya naddo niyama bharata shrava. That is why what you need to do is you need to discipline your mind. You need to discipline your intellect. You need to discipline your senses. You need to train them. You need to train them. Spirituality is a process by which we train the senses, we train the mind, we train the intellect to go, to look beyond everything. Why do we do this, discrimination between the real and the unreal? Why are we doing this? We are only doing this because we need to train our senses, our intellect, our mind, to train our senses and intellect and mind to not get attached to what I am seeing, what not get attached to what I'm seeing, but to see to try to look beyond that, try to look ahead of that. What is there beyond this? What is there beyond this? To question this, to question this apparent reality, to question this what is in front of me. When I start to question this, when I start to try to look beyond all this, that is when I can see the reality. And that is why spirituality is a practice. It's a practice. Why it is a practice? We need to train our senses, we need to train our mind, we need to train our intellect. They are the tools. They are the tools by which we can perceive or we can experience the reality. Now, when I am watching this world and I'm thinking that I'm part of this world, that means my intellect, my mind, and my senses, they are trained into perceiving this non-reality as reality. Now, I need to train them so that they can, perceive what is the reality, what is beyond this. What is beyond that? And that is why it says, Tasmadaddo, Tasmat Indriyanaddo Niyama Bharatashrava. Papamanam Prajahenam Jnana Vijnana Nashanam. Why we should train our mind? Why we should train our intellect? Why should we train our senses to look beyond? Because if they don't look beyond this, then our knowledge and the experience of the self will get destroyed. And that is what happens. That is what happens, when we are in the state of unenlightenment, when we are in the state of ignorance, then what happens is, our knowledge becomes ignorance. Our knowledge becomes ignorance. We become ignorant. We don't have a simplest idea about what we are. Why? Because it has got transformed. It has got transformed. So we need to change. We need to change. We need to have that capacity or capability. We need to gain that capability of seeing what is the reality. And that is why we need to train our senses, train our mind, train our intellect. And here it says that the only way to train your intellect, mind, and your senses is to always know that whatever you are experiencing, this is not real. This is not real. You need to always look beyond this. You need to know that this is just like the bubbles in the sea. It's just like the snake in the rope. You are that pure consciousness. Whenever you see yourself to be a name and a form, whenever you see yourself, attached with the body, whenever you see yourself attached with the body, whenever you see yourself attached with this mind, your desires, all these qualities, all the attributes, then you are actually, experiencing the snake in the rope. But the snake does not stay in the rope. The rope is always free. You are always free. You are always you. And then the last one it says, Sama dukha sukham purnam asha nairashayo sama. This is another way by which you can attain the state of, complete freedom, complete liberation. You can attain the state of complete dissolution. Dissolution means your ignorance will completely dissolved. Your mind, your intellect, your everything, ignorance, they are all going to be completely, your ego, they're all going to be completely dissolved. How? When we're discussing in our last classes, we said that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Samatvam Yoga Uchate. When you see everything to be the same, Siddha Siddho Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchate. When you are capable of accepting the the victory and defeat, when you are capable of accepting victory and defeat to be the same, that is called yoga. Samatvam Yoga Uchate. When you can accept each and every aspect of your life, when you can when you can accept each and every aspect of your life to be the same. Ya sarvatrana visneha yattat prapya subha shubham navi nandati na dveshti tasya pragya pratishtita. Lord Krishna is saying about this highest human being who is steadfast in the knowledge. How do you know that he is steadfast in the knowledge? How do you know that he is established in the knowledge? He said, Ya sarvatrana visneha yat tat prapya subha shubham. He said that when we approach in this world, when we live in this world, when we do our duties, when we perform our karmas, we have two kinds of result. One is auspicious, one is inauspicious. One is victory, one is defeat. One is virtue, one is vice. One is good, one is bad. These two, any of these two is going to come. He says that when a person does not have any kind of likings towards the good and disliking towards the bad, navi nandati na dveshti, he does not rejoice when things happens according to his mind, according to his likings, and he does not get depressed when things does not happen according to his wishes. Tasya pragya pratishtita. For this person who is the same, who is established in sameness, this person is called, is known to be established in the knowledge. So it's very important, it's very easy also if we can practice in every aspect of our life, because all the time we have to deal with either success or failures, either good or bad. So we have different reactions towards different results. If we can have the same kind of attitude, in all this, then we'll see that we have attained the state of complete dissolution. Then in the Bhagavad Gita also it says, Sama shatrau cha mitrau cha tatha manapamanayo. Shita ushna the sangha vivarjita. Shita ushna dukha sukheshu tatha sangha varjita. He says, Sama shatrau cha mitrau cha. If you can accept your friends and enemies to be the same, and man apamanayo, if you can accept your critics and those who are always praising, if you can accept praise and critics to be the same, And then you are always in the state of yoga. You're in the state of yoga. So this is what it says: Sama dukha sukham purnam asha nairashayo sama. That person is considered to be complete. That person is considered to be perfect. That person is considered to be somebody who is fixed in the self, who sama dukha sukham, who can treat happiness and sorrow to be the same. Sama dukha sukham, asha nairashya, hope and despair, who can treat hope and despair to be the same. Sama jivita mrityu, and who can treat the life and death to be the same. Sanneva Sanneva meva layam braja. And if we can accept all this, happiness and sorrow, hope and despair, life and death to be the same from our heart, then we attain the state of complete dissolution. So these are the four ways by which we can attain the state of dissolution. We can attain the state where we can be one with the self. So this is the end of the fifth chapter, and if on the next day we will start the higher knowledge, that is the sixth one. So if you have any question, you can ask. Jaram Jar.
Swamiji.
Yes.
So yes, it sounds all very beautiful and pure. So how, if you are really in this state of dissolution, is that possible by just acting in your normal life? Is that possible to do that?
Means this sadness.
Well, if you are completely
Okay.
dissolved
Yeah.
into
Yes.
this
Yes.
sameness.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When you are completely dissolved into sameness, it is very it is very easy, or it is very possible to go through your everyday life in a much better way than you are doing it now, because we are used to this. We are used to pick up the this good and bad. We are used to always take sides, that we are with this person and we are not with this person. We are always used to we have this kind of tendencies. So it seems a little bit hard, or it still seems a little bit impossible for us to stay in the state of complete equanimity, where we can see everything to be the same. But this is the best way to live the life. If you start practicing it, then you will understand this. You will see that while you are doing this, while you are approaching each and every aspect of your life, and each and every experience of the life of your life in the same way, what you're experiencing is, you are experiencing a very substantial amount of joy, quality joy, very high quality joy or high quality bliss, which is coming from within. And that joy is substantiating the loss that you might incur in your life. It says that when you see the loss, you have to treat that loss to be the same as the success. Now the question is, how can I accept loss as my success? It is impossible, because when I have success, I gain something. What do I gain? Apart from worldly gain, I have this mental peace, I have this mental happiness. And when I have this failure, then I see that, apart from losing the worldly things, I also lose my peace of mind. I become anxious. Now, to be told to approach the defeat, or approach your loss in the same way as it is your victory, as it is your as it is your gain, it is impossible to, it is impossible to perceive. But when we start to do it, when we start to practice it, that okay, let me accept it with grace. Let me accept it the way I accept the happiness. I accept the success. When I'm doing it, I see that I come across something which I can say as a very, very high quality, happiness. Spontaneously high quality happiness, which, all of a sudden I discover this within me. So, what do I actually gain from success? I gain happiness. So here, when I am approaching, loss with the same mindset that this is profit, then I have the same kind of benefit. I have the same kind of result, happiness. And then I start to realize that sameness is not only the, is not the best way to live. Then I realize that this way of sameness is the only way towards quality life, high quality life, very, 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 very means profoundly joyful life. Okay. And once I discovered this joy within me, which I have come across without asking, without any effort, that joy opens the door of freedom. That joy opens the door of, liberation. I see that I have come to that state of dissolution. The only thing that I have to do is I have to be, you know, I have to be bold enough to approach it the way it has been told. Most of us don't believe this. When Krishna says that, Siddha Siddho Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchate Sukha Dukhe Same Kritva Labha Labho Jaya Jayo. When Krishna is saying this, you know, that you need to approach this. And then again, in when he's talking about when he's talking about yogi of high quality yogi. So high quality of yogi, he says that jnana vijnana triptatma kudhastha vijitendriya yukta ityuchyate yogi samaloshta ashma kanchana. He said the yogi is what? He is jnana vijnana triptatma. He is not only adept with the knowledge of the Vedas, but he is completely, adept with the realization of the knowledge. Jnana means the intellectual knowledge, and vijnana means the realization. So it's not only he doesn't only have intellectual knowledge, but he also has this, very deep, very deep realization of that knowledge. Jnana vijnana triptatma, and he is completely contented by that knowledge. Kuthastha vijitendriya. Kut means something which is bad. Something which appears, something which is, is like a contradictory thing. Is like something which is something from inside and some other thing from outside. That is called kutha. Kutastha means that self, that kutha, that is that lies or that falsehood also has its, as its support in the knowledge. This falsehood cannot, retain its existence on its own. It does not have any, it does not have any independent existence. It also, the falseness or the lies, they also has their existence in the truth. And that is why the self is called kutastha. So a yogi is always situated in the kutastha, is always within there, is always there, beyond contradictions. And vijitendriya, he is somebody who has, total control over the senses. Now Krishna says, now what is this yogi? What does it do? How will you understand that this is a yogi? Because these these qualities, they are they are within him. You cannot see that. You cannot, you cannot see that quality because it's within them. So how can you understand a yogi? Yukta ittichyate yogi. He says that that yogi, that person is said to be a yogi who sama loshta ashma kanchana, who treats, loshta means a lump of earth, that is a lump of clay. Ashma means a stone. For him, a clay, a lump of clay, stone, and kanchana means gold. These three are the same. A person, for him, these three, this gold, the stones, and the lump of clay is the same. That person, that person is considered to be a yogi. So when you approach this path, in life, and when when you have these experiences, different kind of experiences every time, good, bad, profit, loss, happiness, sorrow, when you have this auspicious, inauspicious, when you have this all these experiences, you have to, you have to face all these experiences. Now in each and every experience, you have, distinct kind of, reaction, feelings. Now here it says that be the same, approach every experience to be the same. When you do it, you see that when you approach your defeat, sorrow, loss, inauspiciousness with the same as profit, success, happiness, and auspiciousness, when you do this, you discover something else within you. You discover this happiness, this wholeness, this completeness. Before, unhappiness, sorrow would give me the feelings of incompleteness, of incompleteness, of something which, which I have lost. But now when I approach, these with my whole, with whole heart, with this, with the sameness, I see that unhappiness, sorrow, loss, despair, death, they're also giving me the sense of completeness, happiness, fulfillment. And then I realize that I am not what I thought I am. This life is not what I thought I am. It's, it's beyond everything. I am the self. I am the self. Then you discover this eternal happiness in this life. So spirituality does not talk about something which you are going to get after you have, reached heaven. Spirituality says that you are going to get something which you are now, here and now, in this, imperfect world, in this, world full of violence, world full of despair, world full of selfishness. Here is the time, here is the space, here is the place where you are going to find that divine love, that divine peace, that supreme peace within you. So let's approach it in this way. Thank you.